Now we're going to create the sawtooth kind of effect that's going along the top of the gun. We'll do that by going back to our reference views. We'll go to the front view. I've restarted ZBrush since we last went to the front view, so let's load that back up. And we'll move this off the model sheet. Here you can see that there is a toothed effect running along the top of the gun up here. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to make sure that this central piece of the gun is selected. I'm going to drag a masking marquee right along the very top like that. We'll invert that mask, and then we'll just switch over to a different view. Go back to our back view. Go to my subtool palette, and I'll isolate just this tool that we're working on. Now, under my standard brush, I'll go to the drag rectangle stroke. I'll select alpha 28. In the alpha menu, I'm going to turn up my vertical tiles all the way. And that's going to give me this grid formation. Or it's going to give me this step formation here, sort of a latticing formation. Click and drag from the center out, and that's actually too intense, so I'm going to undo that, turn down my Z intensity, and I'm going to turn off X symmetry. And that's not strong enough, so I'll undo that, turn up our Z intensity, turn the focal shift up or down, as it were. There we go, that's much better. Now you can see that's the effect that we get. But it's a bit too high, so I'll undo it, dial back my Z intensity a little bit, and run it again. It may take a couple times, trial and error, to get it just right. There we go. Now we end up with our stair-stepping effect along the top. So at this stage there's a couple more bits of detail that we need to put on the main body of the gun. We'll drop back over to the side view here. Dial back our opacity. And we'll be able to see right here and right here, there are two little slide locks. So I'm going to zoom in, scroll over, and I'm just going to use a mask to create the initial shape for this. So we'll begin by masking this section out. Oops, I don't have the right thing selected. Alt-click on the main body of the gun so I'm sure that it's selected. Mask that out, and we'll mask this as well. Invert the mask. New deformation. Use the inflate slider to push them in. That went in too deep, so I'm going to undo that. Use the inflate slider again. Just knock them back in to about -7. There we go, much better. Now we'll mask or unmask this section here. And we'll drop this piece in by -5. the same for this piece here. -5. Now you can see there's a circular part right here that we need to get. So what I'll do is I'll go to the brush menu, planar. We'll do planar flatten. Drag rectangle stroke, and we'll use a circular alpha with a hard edge on it, alpha 14. Let's turn that opacity back up so we can see this a little bit clearer. Oops. Need to fix the tiling on the alpha here. Turn that back down to 1. Go to the brush menu, go to the depth, and embed, and make sure embed is sitting above the surface so it'll build up. There we go. I'm going to mask a circle here. Invert the mask, smooth this back, build it up using clay tubes. Soften it. Flat plane to it. I'm trying to get that centered. Now I'm going to create the little bump there. If I scoot this over a little bit, you'll see how there's a little, what appears to be a light or something there. I'm going to create that by countersinking just a sphere in there. Go to the light box, tool menu, grab the polysphere, and then we'll append the polysphere into here. need to duplicate, or I need to delete the lower subdivision levels, then mirror. And I could merge down. There we go.